Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Riley and Friends podcast, where we talk about random stuff relating to movies, games, books, music, and other things. I'm joined by my two esteemed friends and guests, Corinne and Gabe. And did any of you two want to kick it off as far as what you wanted to talk about?
I just want to tell everybody that we're sleepy sheepies today because it's a little early. So be kind. Be nice to us. We're eepy. We're just so eepy.
Speak for yourself.
You want them to be mad at you because you're eepy.
First comment, how dare you?
How dare you be eepy, sleepy people.
There were words in there.
Yep.
Well, I have a first starting statement. It's not really a discussion, but I think it will prompt one.
Okay.
Is 2023 the best year in video games ever? Maybe.
I mean, I haven't played all the games yet, so it's hard for me to.
Neither have anyone, really.
I mean, there's so many great games that came out this year. Like as far as my backlog is huge. I'm still playing Tears of the Kingdom, and I'm still playing Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6 surprisingly extensive campaign. Not that long when compared to something like Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, obviously.
I was gonna say, but I think I'm close to being done with the main story, and I haven't done all of the side quests in Street Fighter 6, but I've already put in 23 hours into that game.
Wow.
Which for a fighting game campaign is kind of unheard of.
Yeah, no, usually you can blast through those quickly. I remember playing Soul Calibur back in the day, and it would be all right, completed it with that character, and out to the next character. Just boom, 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 boom.
The thing is that the game still has those, but that's secondary to the actual story mode.
Yeah.
So it's even when I'm gonna be done with the story mode, I still have to go through those too, or at least some of those to kind of get a feel of how they play, because they have with Street Fighter 6's main campaign, you create your character, you go into a 3D world, you challenge people to fights, you find
ladies on the
streets. You find legendary fighters, and you learn from them, i.e. you learn their move sets, and then you customize power, your special moves from other people to mix with that fighting style. There's a lot of things going on in that game, which is surprising because it's a fighting game, but that's part of what makes it really, really good. But yeah, I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3. I haven't played Alan Wake 2. I haven't played Diablo 4. I have not played let me see, Spider-Man 2. I have not played. Shit, there's probably so many games I haven't played, but I'm forgetting.
It was really funny. I saw this animation that was all the contenders for Game of the Year, and they were all having it's the Game of the Year club. All of us were really great, and any of us could be Game of the Year. And then Starfield is there, and Starfield's yeah, we're all really great and contenders for Game of the Year, and everyone's Starfield, I hate to tell you this, but
you're fine.
You're fine, but
this year was really good.
Yeah, you're even good, but you're not great, and you still have so many bugs, and and Starfield's oh, so you're gonna be like that, huh? You're gonna all right, well then fine, I'll just leave. And then Starfield calls up a beam to shoot away. It's this is supposed to be more dramatic. It's loading. I think it's stuck. And then, in the middle of a sentence, he gets beamed away. But yeah, no, this was a year of really great games, and I don't want to jinx it, but I feel maybe finally some of the developers learned a lesson, of what we actually want, and not just mimicking other games because they were popular. These were all games that had kind of different styles, different feels, different things going on in them. And they weren't the same thing over and over again, which is why they were so good.
Do you think studios are pissed off at Larian Games' Baldur's Gate 3 for? It's like too good.
Yeah, no, it is too good. Well, and Larian Games knew the assignment and like blew it out of the water.
I feel like every RPG studio is like, motherfuckers, you're making this too hard.
I don't think the workers necessarily think that, but I think the studio heads
Yeah.
might think that. Like, because like a lot of games are like they could be that polished or they could be that like intricate, but they just don't have the time or the allocated funds or whatever. So I think like maybe like more on the top end, it's kind of like that, and like the workers kind of understand what they have to do.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I'm hoping that Baldur's Gate 3 will kind of like prove that like the RPG, like the fully immersive, make your character explore the world, make friends, have romances, save the world or destroy the world, like it's still like a viable format, because it feels like we really haven't had a lot of games doing that in a really long time, because it all every studio was pushing out, most studios, was like super open world games where it's like, yeah, you have a bunch of missions, but they're all the same mission, really, or like 3 different missions and a bunch of collectibles, and it's like, no, give me a story that I'm doing, please. Like, yeah, there's a story there, but is it a story? Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much am I interacting with this story, or are you just telling me the story?
It's wild to me that in a year where I said that Zelda was probably the best game I've ever played, Baldur's Gate poked its head up and it's like, are you sure about that? It's like, how do we have 2 of these this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's usually only one. Actually, there's usually none.
Yeah, there's usually
and
none.
There's
and
2
then,
this year.
If there is one, it's just one, and now there's 2. But then there's also a whole like field of other games that are like, hey, but
Genuinely great. Yeah.
We're real good too. We did a good job. Hey, hey.
It's hard for me to say if this is the best year. I mean, other than the pre-established rants where I said I haven't played all of them. But it's hard for me to say because 2007 was really good.
That's the one that probably is the one you go up against in this discussion.
And it's hard for me to. And then there's also kind of like the whole like, despite how good the games were, like there were so many layoffs this year.
Yeah.
I mean, and a lot of that was from from what I've read, a lot of studios and publishers and developers, they overhired during the pandemic era where there was a big boom for the game industry, and then it was kind of, now we're kind of seeing the powers that be made a lot of mistakes and shouldn't have hired so many people.
Like everywhere else, yeah.
Yeah, it being in an industry that did the same thing, and a company that's been through massive restructuring this year, like, my job thus far has been completely safe, and I've never had any doubts about that. But it is definitely one of those things where it's like, yeah, a lot of people made a lot of mistakes during the pandemic, thinking this will last forever, and it's like, yeah, the pandemic will last forever because we're not doing anything about it, but the market conditions aren't going to last forever.
Yeah. And that, maybe be clear, that's on the people that make those decisions, not on the people who,
right,
work.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I just think it's kind of, I feel like if you're going to hire somebody, like hire a lot of people, or even just one person, you should have a responsibility for them, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's just,
I mean, that's the whole. Okay, so labor unions.
John Oliver has entered the chat.
Yeah. It's the whole reason labor unions exist, because the people at the top don't take responsibility, and then the labor unions have to step in to be like, no. And that's why we've seen such a huge boom in labor unions in the past few years, because people have realized, oh, they don't care. And there was a long time where the jobs did take care of you, and that was because of the things labor unions did in the past, and the jobs were afraid, and they're like, if we don't do these things, bad things will happen. And then the labor unions kind of got like, went downhill because people were bad mouthing them. And then the jobs were like, yeah, we don't have to listen to the labor unions anymore. And then the labor unions come back and are like, no.
Yeah, I just think it makes me so happy that like a lot of well, not a lot, but in North American game studios there's finally some push for unionization, and some QA studios have gotten those, and that's not really a thing that has happened here that much before.
No.
Oh yeah, over the past few years, there's been unionization happening in game studios. It's been happening in the TTRPG space, which is basically unheard of. Excuse me, I just had a bunch of Coke Zero on an empty stomach because I couldn't make coffee. And
a suitable substitute.
Suitable substitute. I'm full of carbonation. It's happened in game studios, happened in the TTRPG space. It's happened, like, we saw the screenwriters and the actors guilds, like, they already existed, but they rose up and were like, no, fuck AI.
Pay us a living wage at least.
Yeah, pay us a living wage. There's been the Starbucks unionizations. There's been various other retail worker unionizations. Like, it's been all over the place, and I'm so proud of everybody.
Yeah.
Unionizing's hard, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's impressive. I feel like it just is it's kind of like everything where you put in something a long time ago, you get used to it, you kind of take it for granted, and then they figure out, oh, we don't have to do this anymore. That's just like every big corporation choice that hurts people.
Yeah. And I think the corporations are finally seeing the blowback from that. And it's been great in a way for workers, but it's been hard at the same time. It's been hard and great and hard. And, don't hire scabs. Don't cross picket lines.
Yep. Or no, you know what I mean.
Riley endorses crossing picket lines.
No.
You heard it here first, folks.
No.
She specifically wants you to cross picket lines.
I heard I love scabs. I don't know where it came from.
I don't like scabs. They're crusty.
It reminds me of
and they make me bleed.
Reminds me of the Futurama. Like, they're hiring scabs at 5 times wage. Can you believe that? No, down with scabs, down with scabs. And Bender just marches right in. I'll take it out.
So this is just like a kind of bit of random news. Archer is finally ending.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're having their finale movie, I think, or final season, or I don't know exactly, but it's weird because I kind of forgot Archer existed for a while.
I think everybody did, yeah.
Yeah, but it was still going. Like, the last one I remember watching was Danger Island, and then I went and looked, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll rewatch Danger Island, and there's like so many more seasons after that, and I'm like, wait, it's the whole time?
That's how I feel about Robot Chicken. Like, still?
Yeah.
Still Robot Chicken.
Yeah.
Like, that makes me like want to check like everything I watched as like a teenager and see if it's still going. Is Ask a Ninja still happening?
Oh god. Red vs. Blue is still going.
But yeah, I didn't realize it was still like airing new stuff, and then I saw that there was the finale happening, and I'm like, wait a minute. That means there was still a show going before that.
That means there was TV the whole time.
Yeah.
Dang. Is Andy Milonakis still happening?
Oh god.
Yeah, I was shocked. And so yeah, I'm rewatching through Danger Island, and then we'll find out what's next, because I literally have no idea, because I didn't know it was still going on. Archer has its ups and its downs, but I did like when they moved to the new style of doing a different what's the word I'm looking for? Like set piece.
Yeah, genre almost.
Oh yeah, like a different genre, like every season. Because it revitalized the show. Because like Danger Island's a lot of fun, and the one before that, Dreamland, was a lot of fun. But before that, it had started to go downhill, and then they're like, "Wait, we got to do something."
I think that's what happens. We had one creator, right? I think he just got bored.
Yeah, I think he got bored. I think he's like, "Yeah, what else could I do with this one setting? Nothing." All right, new setting. New setting every season. But I have no idea what comes after Danger Island, so it's gonna be a surprise because I have no idea.
I don't even know where I left off anymore.
Yeah.
It's been, I was about to say it's been a while, but then it was
Been a while.
Curse you, Aaron Lewis.
Jack has taken to making a comic book out of the stupid choices we make in Baldur's Gate 3. So when we finish the campaign, I will share that with you. It's been documented. The things we've done every week are absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, okay. So brief side tangent, kind of related to Baldur's Gate because it's D&D. The amount of times I have to like apologize to my DM because I'm MacGyvering the shit out of everything in our D&D campaign. And like, it's just like this past the game we played yesterday, like we broke out of like a room that we were in because the party had been split up. And I knew that there was a bunch of skeletons that were like in 2 separate rooms. And I was like, I would like to barricade the rooms. And he's like, all right, how do you want to do that? I'm like, I would like to take the heaviest objects in that room and then create a tension system using ropes and these columns to block the doors. And he's like, all right, roll an athletics check to see if you're able to move the things without being too loud. And I like did really well. And he's like, okay, fine, you're able to move the things. And you make a tension system blocking these doors, I guess. And then we got into the main fight later, and there's like a bunch of skeletons trying to get out of the rooms, and I'm like, you'll get out eventually, but you're giving us at least like a round or 2, right? But yeah, it just very much, Baldur's Gate really captures the D&D experience, I feel.
The chaos.
Yeah, just the absolute chaos. And I feel like I am a big source of chaos in my D&D campaign, just because I'm constantly like, okay, but what if I do this? Like, there's a long story about this, but do you know the character Moopsie from Star Trek Lower Decks?
Moopsie.
My DM, he introduced Moopsie as an enemy. Moopsie sucks the bones out of things, but it's adorable. And you know, instead of immediately attacking Moopsie, we decided to try and communicate with Moopsie. And we learned that basically Moopsie's only motivation is hunger. And one of our players is a demon devil hybrid tiefling, so like kind of both, very special. And now this is going to be really cursed, so close your ears if you don't want to hear it. It's absurd. This character had children in the game, and they'd been taken away from her, and we're trying to find them. So she was a recently birthed mother who still had breast milk. We realized breast milk incredibly high in calcium. Bones high in calcium. What Moopsie's probably after is calcium. So we offered Moopsie a trade because a newly birthed mother still has to like do something with the milk even if they don't have the babies. So she's just been hoarding demon devil tiefling milk, and we offered Moopsie the milk, and he loved it. and then we're like, okay, Moopsie, now that we've reached this truce, there's a graveyard back that way. Go ham. And he runs to the graveyard. But he says he'll be back for more of the breast milk. And so I'm like, we need a plan because he's coming back. Do you have more of that breast milk? And she's like, I do. And I create water skins using just hides, fill them with the milk, attach them to arrows, and then the plan, which later turned out to work, is poke a hole in the pouch, shoot the arrow, and it leads Moopsie away. And that's how we're dealing with Moopsie basically forever, is just breast milk arrows. Yeah, and that is a thing that I made my DM do, and the breast milk was not my idea, but everything else was.
You need to play Baldur's Gate 3. It's made for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I just, it feels like Baldur's Gate 3 really captures that kind of bullshit that the players do. I haven't played it yet, but I've watched Bevan play it some. I'll be playing it once he's done with it, or done hyperfixating, but yeah.
We love the idea of Jack is basically the DM and that he enforces our absolute stupidity to have to stick with our bad decisions. He's like, you're not save scumming. If you fuck this up, this is our choice now. Every time, like last week, I ended up in a room with 2 prostitutes that were male and female, and Jack had to tell me, you realize your character is sleeping with a brother and sister duo. I'm like, no. I didn't realize this. My character is David Bowie. He does what he does. Like, so in the spawn of 5 minutes, I found you sleeping with brother and sister. I found Nathan with an inventory full of dead clown parts. And Robert is over here in the corner being a cat. I hate all of you. And this is Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, that's so funny. Bevan, his character is like a very like fancy man, tiefling, I believe, just like very fancy. And then our friend Adam is also a tiefling, but it's just like a dirty druid. Like, so like they walk into town together, and every time Bevan's like, wait, let me handle this. Because like Adam just looks like he just rolled around in the mud, like it's just such a funny dynamic because it's 2 tieflings, but polar opposite sides of like the approachable spectrum. Anyway, Baldur's Gate 3.
I haven't finished it. We're finally in the 3rd act, but even then I know I've heard that's the longest one, so like we'll be there a while.
Well, and there's as long as you update it, there's like a new epilogue that you're gonna get once you do beat it. Yeah, they like did like an extended epilogue or like changed the epilogue or something. They also gave all the characters special kisses.
David Bowie will have to discover this.
Yeah, they gave all the companions special kisses. I don't know. I only know what one of them is. And that's Will. His last name. He spins you around. And does like a dip kiss, I think. But yeah, that's the only one I know of. But yeah, everyone gets a special kiss. Because Baldur's Gate knows what people want. Special kisses.
I just highly endorse playing this game with people who you don't know what they're going to do. It just keeps things so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm thinking about because I want to play it with people because I feel like that's kind of the best way to do.
It's the most chaotic way to do it.
That's best is a word.
Yeah.
I mean, best way because the chaos is part of the fun, though.
Yeah.
I mean, D&D is meant to be played with other people. So,
well, and they have like a hardcore mode now where you can't save scum.
We've been doing that to ourselves.
Yeah, now they made it official. They made a mode where you can't do it. Because they're like, oh, people want that? Okay, sure.
It's more like Jack just figured out, he's like, no, if you're going to be shit people all the time, you live with this. It's like I convinced someone to do brain surgery on himself, and he's like, no, we don't get to walk away. You get to talk to people and discover how they feel about watching their friend do surgery on his head.
Oh. Was that the because I know you like if you let them do brain surgery on you, you end up with a robot eye.
No, that's the
Okay.
I did that too.
I just know that's the thing.
There's a bard, another bard in the game, and if you challenge him to a bard off, he'll eventually ask you about your thing in your head, and I'm like, wait, you're also a surgeon? So you can remove the thing from my brain? And he's like, yes, hold on. And then it says he goes and gets a pickaxe. I'm like, wait. He goes and gets a pickaxe. He's like, hold on, it's stuck on your eye. Let me keep putting. You keep getting options. We're like, do you let him keep going? Every time it's worse. And it's like, he shoves the pickaxe farther into your brain. Do you let him keep going? And everyone in my party's like, no! Horrifying. And then there's just a pop noise and you're like, wait, what? What happened? Nothing happened. And then he gives you a fake eye. You're like, your stupid ass choices, and you get an eye and you can see invisibility. You've gained nothing from this decision. It's just hilarious. Or there was a bit where you can get this, I don't even know what to call it. This one lady's like, I found this worm. It's different than the other ones. Nate goes, I ate the worm. And I was like, no, you don't even know what it is. What the first choice, I ate the worm.
Oh, no, I mean, that's straight up a D&D campaign. I ate it.
Where did this worm come from? A horribly possessed corpse. I ate the worm.
Especially the continued options to keep doing this, which is the DM going, are you sure? Are you sure?
He shoves the pickaxe farther into your skull. Are you
want
sure?
to keep going? You sure?
I'm giving you lots of opportunities here. I'm throwing you a lifeline here.
You do regret this yet? No.
No.
We're going to go all the way here.
Commit to the bit.
So I don't know. Yeah, it's one of those like, this might be the best RPG ever just because it's so open-ended.
Yeah. Well, yeah, just the amount of things you can do or can be done to you because of your choices.
Actions have consequences.
Which is my favorite thing in a video game. I love my actions having consequences.
I agree.
Punish me or reward me based on the things I do. Don't just give everyone the same reward. I want to know I earned it. Whatever it is, even if it's bad. If that reward is punishment, I earned it.
Completely agree.
Yeah. Make me regret my choices. Make me regret them.
Week, Nate stole a bunch of shit and then switched it to Jack's inventory, and Jack got arrested and thrown in prison. And then we had to break Jack out of prison, and everywhere he went, he had wanted posters up. Like, I hate you so much right now. He's like, no, we're just living with this. And it's like, Jack, what's jail like?
There was this game. I think I already mentioned it though, but it was something when no, it's gone. There was a game I played recently. It was on Xbox Game Pass. It was something similar to like When Darkness Falls, but that's not the name, but it was something like that.
Darkest Dungeon, or is that a different thing?
No, different thing. This is like a story-based, like choices in the moment, your quick time reactions kind of game. But it actually seemed to have really big branching paths because it shows you the paths. Like after you complete a chapter, it shows you the past. And like there's a lot of choices that like end up in like different paths. And I was really impressed with that. It was hold on, let me see if I can find it. You're gonna have to hear me type in for a minute.
That's okay.
How far are you in Tears of the Kingdom, Riley?
3 dungeons.
It's a long game.
It's really a long game. I'm en route to my 4th, but I've been doing a lot of like finding the sky towers and a lot of the shrines. It's like I'm gonna go there. No, you're not. You're gonna go do this, and this. And then I started doing a little bit more of the side quests too because I like doing the side quests.
They're great,
even though there's a lot.
There's a ton. There's so many.
I have made peace with the fact that I will not do all of them because
it's so many. But there's the Great Fairies one is good. I don't know if you've done that yet.
I've done 2 Great Fairies, like finding the Great Fairies and traveling,
giving them a marching band.
Yes, you've lifted my wagon. This is not how I wanted you to lift the wagon out of the hole.
All right. I found it. It's called As Dusk Falls. and it is it's on a list of some of the best choice-based games that exist on Xbox Game Pass.
As Duskness Falls.
Yeah, as Duskness Falls. Yeah, it's all about how the lives of two families change inside like a motel in Arizona. And it's pretty interesting. I do recommend it. I only played the first chapter, but it if you like games where your choices matter, it seems like they really matter. Like, I don't know how much it continues to matter past the first chapter, but at least in the first chapter, there was like 4 or more branching paths that you could go down because of like the various different choices, and like your choices lead to like sometimes they intersect with other paths and sometimes it creates new paths, and it's like, wow, you thought this through. Like you really
Good job, game.
Yeah, good job, game from random studio. Developers Interior Night, good job. Like yeah, I can't vouch for, full game experience, but at least first chapter. I had a friend who played it and got a completely different like ending space, like for the first chapter. Like things were totally different. And I was playing my usual way of like trying to avoid casualties. Trying to avoid casualties. And by the time I made to the end, like everybody was still alive. And like in his playthrough, there was this like cop that had died because of his choices. And I'm like, see, I told you I was doing better than you were. Because he kept being like, no, do this. And I'm like, no, don't do that. That's a bad idea. That's going to get someone killed. And yeah, because you can play it with multiple players. And then like you choose the decisions. And if you come to like a tie, you can use an override, or everybody has to choose again. So it's cool that you can play it with other people. Yeah,
That's interesting.
Yeah, but I was my choices led to less people being killed. So
yeah, I'm bad at that.
My choices generally do not.
Yeah, no,
I'm good at conflict resolution.
I'm good at conflict resolution with my fist.
I can be, but oftentimes I become chaos itself.
I try to please everyone, but then no one's pleased. And then that really then causes the fist.
The fist of justice.
I don't know if it's a fist of justice as much as it's a fist of, I guess.
It's wild to me. This is all in the same year. We have Spider-Man and Mario Wonder.
Oh yeah, Mario Wonder. I haven't even touched that.
Yeah, I didn't even know it came out. Like I knew it was coming out.
I need to play Elephant Mario.
Elephant Mario.
Elephant Mario.
Everybody's favorite. Why did they make this?
Because Nintendo could.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Nintendo has all the power. We are just in Nintendo's world.
I also started watching Beef, which is just
really
fantastic.
Good. It's so really
good. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm already hooked. It's good.
So what is Beef?
So it starts with two people that are like pushed to the brink of stress and life basically beating them to a pulp, and they get into a car into altercation and then just spiral into the worst road rage people you've ever seen. And then somehow it gets worse every episode.
Pretty much that, yes.
I was watching, and this is not new at all. It's just finally something I was watching that I meant to watch. I've been watching Broadchurch. It's really good. It's really sad, but it's very well done. Also, you get to hear David Tennant's Scottish accent, which we don't hear enough of.
David Tennant and Olivia Colman together. Just
yeah. Oh yeah, like it's such a good cast. It's so well acted. It's very well done. I finished the first season, and then I was like, wait, how is there more seasons after this? Apparently, because it goes through like the trial and the aftermath and everything. I'm like, oh, like that's like cool. I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, I'm still waiting to watch the second and third season. But
they're good. I've seen them all. They're good.
Yeah, like it's a good show. Anyone who's been sleeping on Broadchurch, it's excellent. I didn't watch it because I was depressed for a long time, and it's not a happy show.
No,
it's a very good show, and it's a great mystery, and it's good character dynamics, but it is sad as shit.
Oh yeah, it's real depressing.
So be in a good
I'm
frame of
in.
mind.
I'm in. On the
It's
other
good.
side of the coin, there's Our Flag Means Death, which is the most fun
Yes.
thing you'll see this year.
Oh yes, watch Our Flag Means Death. It's so good.
I need to watch Our Flag
Season
Means
2 is
Death.
somehow even better, and I don't
Yeah.
know how.
Season 2 is so good. Oh, and you know that my kitten's nickname is an homage to Our Flag Means Death, because his name is Isildur, but we call him Izzy Paws.
Oh god, there's a bit where one character is reciting the trauma that happened to him, and it's one of the funniest things I've seen in so long.
Yeah,
It's like, why do they call you that? And he's like, oh god, don't tell me that.
yeah.
Just horrible things that have happened
Well, and
to
he's
him.
just listing and listing and listing, and you're like, Jesus Christ.
When you think it'll stop, it just
Yeah.
keeps going. It keeps getting worse.
Oh,
It's so your type of thing, Riley. You would love
yeah,
it.
I think you would
I
really
know.
love it.
It's just there's so much content, like not just video games, but just
Yeah.
everything.
I know.
It's like I don't have enough time.
No,
I
I
wish I
know.
had more time, between work, doing my channel stuff, and also just enjoying good shit. Like I
Yeah.
need more time.
Yeah, I feel that. I
There's a
feel
ton.
that.
I haven't played so many, and there's just you can't.
I have such a huge backlog of stuff I want to watch and or do and or play, and I just
I've
oh
been picking like one season things because I know that I can just push through them.
Scott Pilgrim.
yeah, Scott Pilgrim.
Did I
Oh,
say
so
Spock
good.
Pilgrim?
I don't think you did. I
Okay,
didn't hear
for some
Spock
reason-
Pilgrim.
For some reason, my brain thought I said Spock Pilgrim.
Spock
That's a very different sounding show. but-
Pilgrim.
I really liked Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. It
I
was
know. It's so
Yeah.
it was such a good idea because like remaking Scott Pilgrim, there's really no point. Like the movie, like it was good,
It was good.
It was good. You didn't need to remake it, but making it a spin where it's like it starts exactly the same and then has an entirely different plot. I really loved that. Like I thought that
It
was
was
such a good
so-
idea.
The rug
Like-
pull was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It goes from like, oh, so this is like a remake to, oh, so this is like it's exploring other avenues with other characters and stuff.
Yeah.
And to this is kind of like a sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, this is this is better than what, like, I know some people are upset because it's like we wanted a remake, or but it's like this is better than a remake. This is actually an awesome sequel.
Yeah. Like
The
Scott
original
Pilgrim.
content.
it
Yeah.
seems like a remake and then it's actually a sequel, and it's so fun. It was so cool. Like okay, so it seems like a remake, then it seems like an alternate universe, then you realize it's a sequel, and it is just
It's really well done. And
Yeah,
I
it's
love that
so
they
well
finally
done.
embraced the obvious that how much Scott Pilgrim sucks shit.
yeah. Well, and it was always the author's original intention that Scott is a shitty person, and it's just
He's
Like,
a charmingly shitty person.
he's charming. He's charming, but he's shitty.
He's like
And-
Charlie Day from Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, like just charming but shitty. And it wasn't because we were always in Scott's perspective. If you weren't reading between the lines, you didn't realize how shitty Scott was. But then once we get out of Scott's perspective, it's like, oh yeah, no, Scott really sucks, because like, yeah, he always sucked. But it's a lot easier to tell when you're not in his perspective.
And that's good because that gives him room to grow as a character.
Yeah. He can learn.
Yes.
What's the vegans guy's name again? I can never remember.
The character or the actor?
The character. I know it's Brendan Routh.
Yeah. God.
That was
It's-
him and the roommate on the movie set was the funniest shit.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Oh,
gotta
I love
run
that they
some
got the
lines.
full cast back. It was so good.
I enjoyed just Chris Evans just hamming it up.
Oh
Yeah.
no, he was amazing.
He loves getting to be
paint-
ridiculous.
The paintball fight in the house.
I was gone for half an hour.
I was gone for 90 fucking minutes.
I'm glad you liked. I loved it. I
Yeah.
binged through it immediately. I was like, this
Oh yeah.
is something.
Evan and I watched it immediately when it came out, and it unfortunately triggered a bit of a quarter life crisis for him, a third life crisis. You know, we're 30s. I don't know how long we're living these days. He's doing better now, but he had like a week where he was like, I watched this when I was in. I mean, like, I read this when I was in high school and college. I watched this movie and blankety blank. I'm now the adult. I'm now the working at the soulless job. What am I doing with my life? I used to be in a band.
We've all been there.
That's a sign that you just gotta find some more fun stuff.
Exactly. He's doing better now.
Like I was like that too, but then now I'm like going to more shows, doing more fun things, trying to get out of the house more.
Yeah.
And figuring my shit out.
Yeah. He's doing a lot better. He had about a week where he was spiraling, and I'm like, okay, well we can talk this through, It'll be okay. I'm sorry Scott Pilgrim did this to you.
That piece of shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, Scott's dating a high schooler.
I keep laughing. You kissed a character that's playing a high schooler, but she's 31 in real life.
Oh.
It's great. Chris Evans was probably my favorite part. I just he's having so much fun. You can just
tell. Well, and you can tell when he's having fun, and I love when you can tell when actors are having fun with roles. Like, he has so much fun in the Knives Out Out.
Yeah.
Like, he is having a fucking blast being an asshole.
Fuck you.
Well, he got to tell a bunch of A-list actors to go to fuck you, eat shit.
Shit. That was it. Yeah. Eat shit.
Yeah, like he was having so much fun with that role. I love when actors like make their money, like where they've gotten themselves to a safe place, and then they can just only take roles they want, because you get to see what kind of actor they really are.
Daniel Radcliffe in a nutshell.
Yeah, Daniel Radcliffe, Elijah Wood, like where they're only in weird fucking indie shit because they're like, yeah, I don't need money. I just do what I want. Like, this seems fun and weird. I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to play a dead body.
James Marsden's like that. Have you seen Jury Duty yet?
No, but I hear it's excellent.
So, you know the concept, I'm assuming?
Yes.
I don't. What is the...
So, Jury Duty was essentially, it's a comedy TV show about they take one real guy and make him think he's in a real jury duty, but everyone in it is an actor, including James Marsden, who plays himself, like a complete fuck up of himself. And they just follow this guy around and they do all this insane shit to him and document it. It's fantastic. And I love the guy great. Too, because he's like the most like warm, sunny, happy. Like, he's doing all these like nice things while everyone's fucking up around him.
He's just a genuinely good person.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I need to go grab a little Mr. Somebody who's meowing and is lonely. So I'll be back just 1 minute.
No, you're good.
I'll do my 30-second pitch to Riley on Jury Duty then.
Okay,
so it starts off with this like kid that just goes into a room and they find James Marsden just hanging out and taking selfies with people. And so he tells James Marsden, he doesn't know this is even being filmed, that, you're in Sonic. I'm sorry. I heard that was a bad movie. He comes back the next day. He's like, I'm so sorry, man. I rented Sonic. It's hilarious as shit. It's like this kid. He's like, I felt so bad. I told him to his face his movie sucked. It's a kitty.
It's a kitty.
It's great. I would recommend it. And it's pretty short, too.
Yeah, close in your face, mister.
Oh, kitty.
He was meowing.
Yeah.
How was the Godzilla?
Oh,
it was really good. It was really good.
If you it was definitely, I'm speaking as someone who has not seen any of the other Toho Godzilla movies. But from what I understand is like if you really like the more serious and kind of grounded ones. I mean, there's still fun moments in it, but like more serious, kind of more contemplative. Like Godzilla is presented by the first one. This is the movie for you.
Yeah, it's really good. It really harkens back to the original Godzilla movies. It's, it's Godzilla -1. It's supposed to be the first like iteration of Godzilla.
Okay.
And it's really cool. Like it's set during the end days and aftermath of World War II. And it's like there is still some like levity and there's funny moments and ridiculous moments, but like on the whole,
Godzilla throws a aircraft carrier. Like all of a sudden you just see an aircraft carrier just flying across the screen. It's like
and everybody else, like, like there's like other like littler boats around and they're like, we're fucked. And yeah, like it's really good. It's really heartfelt. It's entertaining. It's a good monster movie. We get chonky Godzilla back. I love chonky Godzilla. Give me a thick Godzilla.
give me my thick Godzilla.
Yeah, give me thick Godzilla, who was thick originally because it was a man in a rubber suit. But now it's not a man in a rubber suit. It's just thick Godzilla. But yeah, it was good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was really good. See, I'm currently reading Defiant, which is the last Skyward book.
Kitty.
Oh, kitty, distracting me from my topic. Oh, it's okay, you can distract. Which Skyward's kind of. You've read the first 3 books, right, Gabe?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah, so just to let the audience know, it's a YA science fiction YA series by fantasy author Brandon Sanderson.
Machine Brandon Sanderson,
who doesn't know how to stop writing. It's impossible for him. It takes place on a distant planet where humanity's existence is on the brink, and she is an outcast who tries to learn how to be a fighter pilot against an alien species that, as I said, put the human race on the brink. And it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of levity. There's also some really cool magic system world building because, Brandon Sanderson. But, so it's like I know a lot of people will be like turned off whenever you say like YA because,
obvious, yeah.
But this is really good. And
Brandon Sanderson's always good though. Like,
yeah.
I haven't read anything from him I didn't love.
Yeah, I'm like halfway through it, and it's through Defiant, and it takes you on some good twists and turns and emotional journeys and cool alien beings. So, yes. Recommend.
This week I will be reading Sword Heart by T. Kingfisher. And it comes highly recommended, so I hear it's very good. But yeah, it's about a young woman who like I believe her father dies or something, like she inherits everything from her family's estate in like a fantasy world. However, all of her relatives are after her to get the estate. And one of the things in the estate is a sword that's actually a dude. Like a man's soul was trapped in a sword. And it was like either like an enemy of her father's or like a friend of her father's. Like, I don't know how her father came into possession of Mansword. But she now has Mansword, and Mansword must protect her from her relatives. And I am very interested to see how this works. I hear it's very good. But yeah, sometimes you inherit a Mansword, and you have to live with that.
It sounds good.
Good concept.
Yeah. But yeah, T. Kingfisher is the pen name for an author who usually writes young adults. And when she writes non-young adult, she writes under T. Kingfisher, but I don't remember what her young adult
I gotcha.
name is, because I believe that's her actual name, but I just don't remember it.
Gotcha.
You're good.
Yeah.
So pivoting to music, the new Calva Luis record is fantastic. It's it's kind of like a 20, like I've listened to all the 3 albums. The first 2 albums are good, but they're more alternative rock, whereas this one's a bit more alternative metal.
Yeah.
Which I will always gravitate towards because I am me. The riffs, like the riffs are more prominent and stuff, but I mean there's still like some like softer moments, and it mixes in like alternative metal with like some like Spanish folk music.
It's interesting. I just listened to it the other day.
Yeah, and it's like my only complaint about it is that it wasn't long enough. Because it's like only like 28 minutes or so, like across like 8 tracks, and it's like, God, this is so good. I want more of it. But
that's what you want, though.
But yeah, but if an album leaves me wanting for more, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, I agree. That's what you really want, because you want them to put out more stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, I hope this album gives them some recognition, because I want more stuff like this.
Yeah. I agree. I just listened to it. I binged a bunch of stuff because I was behind on music.
Yeah.
I went through just punk rock people. They told me I need to listen to like MS Paint, Wednesday, and Spiritual Cramp. And I went and listened to all of them. And I'm like, okay, these are all fucking amazing. You're correct.
I mean, I feel like December's like for music, like out of all of the media types, December is usually the time where you can start to get caught up on stuff.
Well, because not a lot's coming out in December.
Yeah.
I recently purchased Tom Cardy's album, like his vinyl. I don't know if you're familiar with Tom Cardy.
I don't think so.
For a second, I thought you said Tom Hardy. I'm like,
not Tom Hardy. No. Tom Cardy. He is
born in the vinyl.
Tom Cardy is a comedy musician, because I do love my comedy music, and he's Australian. And some of his one of his most well known is "I Don't Work Here," which is a really great song. I recommend it. It's all about people thinking that you work places you don't, just because you're like standing in a certain place or dressed a certain way. But it escalates very quickly. It goes from like being confused for working at the grocery store, to being confused for a lifeguard, to being confused for, the president of the world. And there's a song about Pluto, about how Pluto is hot shit and it doesn't need to be a planet. It's still great.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they're really good. He does some great videos. He's always just like seemingly like in his like basement studio that just looks like a basement with like a couch and like his musical gear. And he's always like just wearing like a pair of shorts and like a t-shirt or like a tank top. And it's really funny. I highly recommend Tom Cardy. But he specifically put out a song on YouTube that's only like on YouTube called I Don't Want You to Buy My Shit Anyway. All one long word. And it's an ad for his like the stuff he was selling, and it was good enough that I immediately went and bought some of his shit. But it's a song telling you not to buy his shit, and then there's a letter from HR in like the description of the video saying all the things that they will not do for him, and that he should stop calling his merchandise ridiculous shit. And it's very funny. So look up Tom Cardy, look up the I don't want you to buy my ridiculous shit anyway, or whatever it's called. It's very funny.
A steal this album kind of.
I was just thinking.
Yeah.
From System of a Down.
Yeah.
They will do it.
Yeah, it's so funny. And just the letter from HR and like the whole description of the video is so good. And one part of it is that he not all items can be shipped to them, so he can personally try them on and leave messages in the pockets. And even the stuff that doesn't have pockets, they can't have everybody search items for secret pockets to make sure he hasn't put messages in them. And then I got a mug and the vinyl, and in the mug there was a little note from Tom Cardy. Like, it was telling me to beware the postie because he wants my cool shit. And I was like, he really did put messages in the merch.
I love that.
That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
it was very funny. Very funny. He's a funny guy. But yeah, so I highly recommend, if you have never journeyed into comedy music, it's one of my favorite things in music, just because, like, it's so silly. I love fucking silly music, and because it's joy. You can tell they're having fun. And that's what I want in my music. I want them to be having fun. And sometimes that means you could just tell in, like, the riffs and the songs and, you know, watching them perform. And other times it's literally, this is ridiculous.
I like my music brooding.
I like mine fucking silly.
Aw, kitty cat.
I will say this year has given me also hope in the fact that this year has been like an explosion of up-and-coming hardcore and punk bands putting out just fantastic albums. I don't know if you've been following that or not, but like Spiritual Cramp, I hadn't heard of till a week ago. I hadn't heard of Military Gun, MS Paint. And I was like, all of these things are within the last year, and they're great.
Yeah, those I still have to listen to. You know, the new Dying Wish record, I love the new Dying Wish record. Have you listened to it yet, Gabe?
No.
Okay, so it's the second record from them. They're kind of like, I think I talked about this one like on the last episode, but just to recap, it's like a, you know, they wouldn't be out of place at like a Killswitch Engage show or a Knocked Loose show, but like the vocalist, she has such a beautiful, clean singing voice at times, but when she goes hard, it goes hard. But really, that's one of my favorite records of the year, probably, just because of just like, and it's, as you said, there's so much hope for like the hardcore scene. There's so much hope for the I think for the deathcore scene too. Like the Orbit Culture's new record was fantastic, just because like it's kind of like it's not like Lorna Shore's most recent record, but it's like it in the sense that it's you know, it does something different with the you know, what we understand this genre of music to be, and that's kind of like what a lot of hardcore is doing too, like as seen with like Spirit Box and such. Well, not, that's not hardcore. That's more
MS Paint is.
But you know
to them.
You know
MS
what I mean.
Paint. Yeah. MS Paint. I'll give you my 10-second pitch. So they're like, if you took synthesized weird math people, put them in a combination of hardcore and hip hop, and that's what comes out.
I am in.
It's really cool. It almost sounds like they're playing a Super Nintendo with a guitar in the background while he's rapping and sometimes yelling.
That sounds fun.
It's really different, and I loved it.
All right, MS Paint.
MS Paint.
Microsoft Paint.
Yep. Yep.
They knew what they were doing.
Oh, they did. The other one I think people might like, Corinne might like better. It's not as heavy, but if you're in a lighter mood, something called Rat Boys.
Oh, Rat Boys. I think they actually work with my work. Because that sounds incredibly familiar. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look them up because I tend to like most of the artists that work with my work. But I'm pretty sure I helped get some posters made or something for them. Something for a show.
Mm-hmm.
Small world.
Yeah.
That's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've caught up more on music, but movies, I don't even know.
Yeah, I mean, I might watch Killers of the Flower Moon now that it's on Apple.
Wait, it's on Apple now?
I think so.
I
thought they said it was available for streaming now.
Okay. I haven't seen it yet.
But you know, it's like I could have gone to a theater, but it's like, do I want to be depressed for 3.5 hours?
Yeah, that's why I didn't go.
I mean, like Oppenheimer was different because that is, you know, I was expecting, like, you know, it's a depressing topic, sure, but it's also shot like a Christopher Nolan film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's also not as long.
I also
Like-
chased that one with Barbie, so
Yeah, so you had the right idea there.
You did a Barbenheimer.
I did. It seemed like the thing to do.
And Barbie, great movie.
Barbie was great.
Yeah.
One of the more fun movies that's made $1 billion.
Yeah. I hope they learned the right lessons from it.
They will not.
They won't.
I think they already haven't.
Yeah, I know.
They never do.
I'm just hopeful. I want them to learn the right lessons from it, but I know they're not gonna. But it was such a good movie. It was so good.
It was.
I went to it for my birthday and I drank the pinkest alcoholic drink they had. It was a Barbie drink. I loved it. It had like passion fruit in it or something. And I was now 33 and watching a Barbie movie in theaters and I loved it.
Embrace this.
I embraced it. I'm a 33-year-old woman. It's time for Barbie and booze.
I felt that way with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm, like, I'm an adult and I'm watching a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie. Things are okay.
Yeah. The world's not half bad.
The great thing about being an adult is that in this regard, you can just do what you want.
Yeah.
Like you can, whenever I talk about like what Gabe or Corinne have named their animals to like my mom or like my dad, it's just like that's the great thing about being an adult. You can name your pets whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You can name them Isildur so that when you're angry you can yell Isildur.
Yeah.
Really dramatically.
If it's not a nerd reference, is it really a pet name?
Well, I mean, chowder is just named after the food chowder.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You can name your pets whatever you want.
You
Yeah.
really can.
You really, yeah. He's just chowder. Not even a
But-
specific type of chowder, just chowder.
Like I think as a kid you only really get that power when you're like naming like a goldfish. I named my goldfish Rita Repulsa.
Just an A+ name for a goldfish.
I think I only really got like, okay, so it wasn't actually a creative name, but the way I got to it was creative. My recently passed cat Turtle, she was 16, lived a long life. But I had her since I was 17, and the whole reason I named her Turtle, because like Turtle is a common cat name because of the tortoise shell pattern, like it happens a lot. But I didn't name her because of that. Like she was calico, she was a white and orange and gray, but I named her that because before I heard that I could get her, like I got the permission, I had a dream about a turtle that I became best friends with. And then at the end of the dream, the turtle sadly passed away. And so when I learned that I could get a cat, I named my cat Turtle after my dream turtle that had died. I was 17. And maybe if everybody knew the reason why I was naming this cat Turtle, they wouldn't have let me. But
I lived a long life with that turtle.
yeah, I lived a whole life with that turtle in my dream, so I named my cat
You
Turtle
got
after the turtle.
inceptioned.
Yeah. And I would like to say I'm just as weird now as I was at 17. Like it totally like normal name for a cat, and yet the way I got there
Was not.
it was not. No, it was for the dream turtle that I remember to this day. This turtle that I lived a happy life with, that was my best friend in a dream, and then died.
It's like, say we did that with Gizmo. It's like, oh, you like the movie Gremlins? Yes, but that's not why.
Yeah.
He's this cute little bitey shit.
Yeah.
He's a gremlin.
Sometimes names, they just come to you.
It's not just that you liked it, it's that he is it.
Yeah.
He is a gremlin.
On that front, did you guys have any other last
I have
topic?
to step away for 1 second again. If
Okay.
he now wants to leave the room, so I must oblige. 1 second.
I
Okay.
can't think of anything. I'm trying to figure out what to do next. I guess I'll probably finish Beef and then try to watch Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah. I'm gonna finish. I'm about to finish. God.
that'd be nice.
The Bear season 2.
Oh, I need to watch The Bear as well.
The Bear's really good. Lots of guest appearances from like really prominent actors this season. I mean, John Bernthal was in an episode of the previous season, but he's in an episode this season alongside Bob Odenkirk and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Wait, what are we talking about?
The Bear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Bear's like, like randomly has like sometimes like some like guest appearances from like well-known actors, and like Jamie Lee Curtis is like the mom, and it's like a flashback Christmas dinner episode, and it's not like, you do not watch that on Christmas because it's not a Christmas special. It is a Christmas nightmare.
It is an incredibly dysfunctional family trying to hold it together for Christmas and failing so bad. I watched it. Nowhere near Christmas, obviously, because Christmas is coming up. And I was like, Jesus Christ, I live in a dysfunctional family, but fuck.
Like Jamie Lee Curtis is like, she's trying to cook the 7 fishes for Christmas Eve dinner, and it's like, she's got like 10 like timers going off, and like, get out of the way.
Yeah, like everyone wants to help her, but she won't let anybody actually help her. But then she gets upset when people don't help her, and I'm like, that is so relatable.
I never thought I would have so much tension over whether or not someone would throw a fork at somebody.
Yeah,
but I did.
Yeah.
I definitely sounds like I need to watch it.
It's a fantastic show. It's very stressful.
The Bear is
with some humor, but also very stressful.
It is incorrectly billed on Hulu as just a comedy. Like, yeah, I watched the first season originally. I was house sitting and I was alone, and I was like missing my house and my husband and my pets. And I was like, oh, this is a new comedy. I've been hearing good things about this. And I put it on and I'm like, what the fuck? I enjoyed it, but it is funny at times, but it is not like a comedy. And Hulu just had it listed as a comedy. I hope they fixed that now. But in the first season, it was just comedy. And I'm like, Hulu, you fucking liar.
This is about a guy that takes over. This is about a chef that takes over his brother's Italian beef restaurant after his brother committed suicide.
Yeah.
And it's about him trying to hold the business together.
While
it's
trying to avoid having a mental breakdown that he is clearly having.
Yeah.
It is like, it has moments that are very funny, but most of it is so fucking stressful. You're like, I'm going to watch a man snap and murder everybody in an Italian beef restaurant. That's what's going to happen. Like,
cousin, you don't get it.
That actor is very good at playing dysfunctional characters.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's incredibly good, but it is not a comedy. Yeah. It has comedy. It is not a comedy.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, don't go in expecting a comedy. You will be sorely confused and sad and disappointed and alone in a house where you're homesick and all you have is the bear to keep you company. That may just be me, though.
On that note, on that happy, cheerful note for this in time for the holiday season, we will do our concluding statements. But is there anything you guys wanted to plug?
As always, I want to plug my podcast, Wham Bam Thank You Ma'am, available wherever podcasts are podded. We talk about romance books and smut, and it's funny. There's comedy. I read a lot of really cursed literature aloud, and it doesn't bother me because you know what? It's just words.
You're an adult and you can do what you want.
I'm an adult and I can do what I fucking want. And that is apparently read smut to the internet. Apparently. I don't know how I fell into this. But also, I'm really excited because we recently got an affiliation with my favorite dice shop. So if you like dice or gaming accessories for like TTRPGs, go to greenleafgeek.com /WBTYM pod and use code WBTYM pod and you'll get 5 to 7% off your order. Leah, the owner, is really great. I've been buying dice from there for fucking years. And there's dice, there's resin jewelry. I have some jewelry on the way that I'm really excited about. There's like curated sets, custom handmade sets, just random accessories. There's a really cute mug with a kitty on it that I almost bought, but I didn't because I have enough mugs. But yeah, so I'm really excited about that affiliation. Yeah, I know, right? I mean, we do though. There's no more cabinet space. The last
Make a bigger cabinet.
Made a cabinet out of old mugs.
The last mug I got was the Tom Cardy mug that says "Stop trying to fuck my dad," and I feel like that was a purchase I needed to get. But yeah, so I'm excited about that. Listen to my podcast. It's not just me, it's two other people who I think are really funny. And a secret we have 2 episodes coming up. One is with my friend Sweeta, who works for Riot Games. So nice. A really, really good episode. Sweeta's great. And then we have our mini episode coming up that is slutty Christmas songs. We are bringing forth the sluttiest Christmas songs, and you, the listeners, get to judge whose Christmas song was the sluttiest. There's some real bangers that are really going to fill out your Christmas list. So keep an eye out. That one's going to be releasing on Wednesday, the 13th. So, I mean, I think y'all need a little bit of sluttiness in your Christmas. Is all I'm going to say. Always. The episode's going to be called Hose, Hose, Hose. So
have yourself a slutty Christmas.
Have yourself a slutty Christmas, It is a joy and a pleasure, that episode. I'm currently editing it. I'll be finishing editing it today. So, and it's very fun. That is the end of my promo. Oh, actually, one last thing. On Wednesday of this week, which I don't know if this will be posted that soon, but Wednesday of this week, so the 13th and then the 20th, by cameras, there we go. I'm playing in a Call of Cthulhu game, which I've never played Call of Cthulhu, but I'm dressing up. I am Kieran the Hat Murphy. It's the 1920s. I'm a crooked accountant. And we're going to be sent out by a crime boss to do something. It's going to be horrible, probably, because it's Call of Cthulhu, but I'm really looking forward to it. So check out REROLLHQ on Twitch, and look out for me in Call of Cthulhu with a big hat.
I'll try and post this before that.
Okay. Yeah, 13th and 20th. So, I mean, it's 2 days. But yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. I'm excited.
All right. Was there anything you wanted to plug, Gabe?
Yeah, I'm going to double down. Have yourself a slutty Christmas. I think, yeah, it's good.
That is.
Have yourself a slutty little Christmas. Let yourself be loose.
Be loose. Oh, fuck. My plug is don't forget to like and subscribe and all that shit. All right.
Do that.
And have a happy slutty Christmas.
Have a slutty Christmas.
Have a slutty Christmas.
And with that, we'll see you on the next one. Bye.